Nisikize kwa makini, kweli mimi nimekutamani tokea zamani. Nilichoka mpenzi, wewe nipe nafasi, kupe penzi hujapewa, usema hujawahi kuruhusa, kwa maana penzi letu halina kasoro. Mimi na wewe tupendana kiroho, na kusituliza moyo
I want to commend both the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and the ODM party, my former party.
That no matter our disagreements, our visions and disappointments, we have to have our country first.
Ukiongea mambo ya ODM nikiwa hapo, muongee na sauti ya chini. Kwa sababu mimi naelewa ODM kuliko wengi wenu. Mimi nilikuwa deputy party leader wa ODM. Si namna hiyo?
By telling my brother Agwambo, now you have the mantle, my brother. Now you have the mantle of ODM. And I want to remind you of the words of a philosopher who said, a man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back to the crowd. My friend, Agwambo, please look forward, don't look back.
I want to commend both the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and the ODM party, my former party.
That no matter our disagreements, our visions and disappointments, we have to have our country first.
Ukiongea mambo ya ODM nikiwa hapo, muongee na sauti ya chini. Kwa sababu mimi naelewa ODM kuliko wengi wenu. Mimi nilikuwa deputy party leader wa ODM. Si namna hiyo?
By telling my brother Agwambo, now you have the mantle, my brother. Now you have the mantle of ODM. And I want to remind you of the words of a philosopher who said, A man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back to the crowd. My friend, Awamo, please look forward, don't look back.
I want to commend both the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and the ODM party, my former party.
That no matter our disagreements, our visions and disappointments, we have to have a country first.
Ukiongea mambo ya ODM nikiwa hapo, muongee na sauti ya chini. Kwa sababu mimi naelewa ODM kuliko wengi wenu. Mimi nilikuwa deputy party leader wa ODM, si namna hiyo?
By telling my brother Agwambo, now you have the mantle, my brother. Now you have the mantle of ODM. And I want to remind you of the words of a philosopher who said, a man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back to the crowd. My friend, Agwambo, please look forward, don't look back.
I want to commend both the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and the ODM party, my former party.
That no matter our disagreements, our visions and disappointments, we have to have our country first.
Ukiongea mambo ya ODM nikiwa hapo, muongee na sauti ya chini. Kwa sababu mimi naelewa ODM kuliko wengi wenu. Mimi nilikuwa deputy party leader wa ODM. Si namna hiyo?
By telling my brother Agwambo, now you have the mantle, my brother. Now you have the mantle of ODM. And I want to remind you of the words of a philosopher who said, a man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back to the crowd. My friend, Agwambo, please look forward, don't look back.
Chukia
Thank you, Octave Band. I trust that you are enjoying your dinner. This is a celebration of consistency, of astuteness, of focus. Perhaps your hands may be too full for you to clap, but I will just want you to turn to the person next to you before I invite the chair of the planning committee and tell that person 20 years is not a joke. Kindly turn to the person next to you. 20 years is not a joke. Think about it. Where were you 20 years ago? And I hear somebody saying I was an ODM member. So were you, so was I. So allow me to invite the chair of the planning committee for the ODM at 20 celebrations, the minority leader in the National Assembly, Honorable Junaid Mohammed. And as Junaid comes, I'll request the service team to serve as discreetly as possible. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Odomobagi. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, my party leader, Dr. Oburu Odinga, Prime Cabinet Secretary, leadership of the ODM party, na ODM members. When I say ODM, unasema tuko tayari. Everyone in this room tonight must sing ODM, including the President. Lazima muimbe ODM hapa leo. Haya, ODM. ODM. Rais, mbona umenyamaza? ODM. Oh, very good. Your Excellency, today or tonight or the last 3 days, from Thursday, Friday, and today Saturday, we have been in the Coast region celebrating our 20th anniversary as ODM. On Friday, we had a National Governing Council. On Thursday. On Friday, we had three functions, a youth function, women function, a women event, and a concert for the youth in the evening. And today, we had the main celebration at Mamangina Waterfront. And tonight, as a founder member of this party, you decided to host us for a founders dinner. Can we clap for this? This program or these celebrations started when our departed party leader was there. And I remember very well, he discussed with you at length about it. And we were supposed to do it on 10th of October, from 14th and 15th. And 16th, I think. Then he traveled and he didn't come back, unfortunately. But you are aware that when you discussed with him, you agreed with him that as a founder member of the party, you are going to host the ODM party in Mombasa for a founders dinner. So we appreciate you. We have eaten well as ODM. The kind of food you serve today here is not very common in ODM, but it's okay. I can see there is light at the end of the tunnel. But before I say much, tonight is a Founders Day. So the founder members are here. They have been invited. This is their night. We have the President, William Samoei Ruto. We have the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi. We have Honorable Mumbi Ngaru. We have Honorable Henry Kosgei. We have Honorable Franklin Bett. And we have Honorable CS Beatrice School. That is the list that has been given to be the founder members of this party. There are big men who came after them. They are not founders, but they are big men. We have CS Oparanya here. We have CS Joho. Those are big men in ODM, Your Excellency, but they were not, I think, founders. When it was being founded, ODM was being founded, some of them maybe were sugarcane farmers. They were farming sugarcane in Mumias area. Anyway, Your Excellency, I don't want to take much. I want to invite the first Secretary General of the party, who is also a founder member, the Governor of Kisumu County, Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, to come and recognize his colleagues and give them a chance to speak to the ODM members today. There are many people here. There are youths here who don't have the history of this party, but they belong to this party and they support this party. Professor, welcome.
ODM oye! The Bright Lady, and many others. So it is a good day that we, and many others. So it is a good day that we have come together as a family to celebrate our past and our achievements and our hope for the future. As a teacher, among other things, I like to put the record straight. 20 years ago, an orange became more than just a fruit. It became a symbol, the emblem of a people's defiance, the voice of a nation demanding justice, and the promise of a Kenya reborn. Out of the fire of the 2005 referendum, the Orange Democratic Movement was born, not merely as another political party, but as a movement of hope, a force for reform, and a covenant with the people of Kenya. Today, comrades, as we gather here 2 decades later, we are not only celebrating 20 years of existence, we are celebrating resilience. We honor the sacrifices of our founders, the courage of our supporters, and the unwavering dream of a fair, just, and prosperous Kenya. ODM at 20 is not just the story of a party. It is the story of a people who refuse to surrender their destiny. Distinguished Wanachungwa, as the pioneer Secretary General of this great movement, I stand before you with pride to reflect on our journey. The Orange Democratic Movement was formally registered in 2005, emerging from the No campaign during the constitutional referendum of that year. And I remember the prime movers of the ODM disappeared somewhere in Ukambani, and the president was one of them. I don't know whether that place was called Kwambungo or something like that. Yeah? Busiongumbo. That is where we disappeared to conspire how to bring this political party to birth in a nation that was suppressed by presidential authoritarianism. The Orange Democratic Movement, having been registered with the orange as the symbol, the voice of those who opposed the proposed draft constitution came together, opposing the so-called Kilifi draft constitution and embracing the Bomas of Kenya draft. In history, you need to learn what those two drafts of the constitution stood for. The Bomas of Kenya are people's proposal for a new constitution. The Kilifi draft are defense for the past and a privilege for the few. We viewed that a draft as a legal camouflage designed to sustain the old reactionary order, not the progressive democratic Kenya that we, ODM, envisioned. ODM was formed by leaders and citizens who could no longer tolerate injustice, disorder, and reckless leadership. We sought genuine change, not a repackaged continuation of bad governance. Among the key founding figures who stood with the people were Raila Amolo Odinga, Makofi Basi, our party leader and the enduring face of the movement, whose untimely passing remains a great loss to our people. Uhuru Kenyatta, who initially allied with ODM during the referendum before charting his own political path and later becoming Kenya's fourth president. William Ruto, a central figure in the 2005 No campaign, one of the ODM's strongest mobilizers in the Rift Valley, and now the President of the Republic of Kenya. Kalonzo Musyoka, who also opposed the Kilifi draft constitution, but later formed ODM Kenya, now the Wiper Democratic Movement. Musalia Mudavadi, who stood alongside Raila as his running mate in 2007 and now serves as Kenya's Prime Cabinet Secretary. Najib Balala, a proud member of the ODM Pentagon, representing the Coast region. What with Najib? He's out of the country. I will stand in for him. After the referendum victory, internal disagreements led to a split. ODM Raila's faction and ODM Kenya Kalonzo's faction. Raila's ODM went on to contest the 2007 general election, nearly capturing power in one of Kenya's most disputed elections and establishing that the vision of the ODM that it led was really the true story that Kenyans wanted to hear about. At its formation in 2005, ODM crafted a clear and bold vision rooted in the spirit of reform and the will of the people. Defending the people's sovereignty became an important item on our agenda, ensuring that the will of Kenyans, as expressed in the referendum, would guide constitutional, political, and economic reforms. Advancing constitutional change became our permanent mission, replacing centralized governance with a people-driven constitution, promoting devolution, inclusivity, and checks and balances on presidential power. Bridging the gap between the rich and the poor was also on our agenda, pressing historical injustices in land, addressing historical injustices in land, governance, and human rights, and ensuring fair resource distribution. Strengthening multi-party democracy, fighting corruption, and protecting civil liberties. Under the leadership of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, ODM sought to unite Kenya in its diversity, embracing our ethnic, cultural, and regional identities under the clarion call, Chungwa Moja, Maisha Bora. Chungwa Moja, Maisha Bora. The path has been rough and slippery at times, yet our spirit has never wavered. In 2007, we launched our manifesto, the ODM Roadmap to Real Change. Its three key pillars remain relevant today. One, constitutional and institutional reform. A people-driven constitution, rule of law, accountability, and balanced presidential powers. Two, devolution and equitable development. Resources to reach every county and correct historical marginalization. Third, economic growth and equity. Job creation for the youth, agricultural empowerment, and fair access to land, and a prosperous modern industrial and manufacturing sector. Social justice and human development, free basic education, universal health care, and poverty reduction. National unity and cohesion, inclusivity across all divides, and a war against corruption, nepotism, and impunity. Further infrastructure and modernization, expanding roads, energy, ICT, water, and housing for all. Our goal was simple yet profound: to redefine governance and redistribute opportunity so that every Kenyan could truly feel the promise of independence. Ladies and gentlemen, we must now look at our legacy. Our story is written in the heartbeat of this nation. Remembering what happened in Italy, for example, in 1871. Under the Grand Coalition, our leader became Prime Minister, and we laid the foundation for reforms that will still shape Kenya today. In 2010, we achieved one of our founding goals, the birth of a new constitution that devolved power and protected rights. 2013, 17, and 22, though denied victory through political malpractice, ODM stood firm as the people's watchdog, the voice of accountability, and the defender of revolution. Asante sana ndugu wangu. Mungu akubariki. ODM has been tested but never broken, challenged but never defeated. As we celebrate 20 years of resilience, we must renew our covenant with the people of Kenya. The next 20 years must be about economic justice, building an economy that works for the mama mboga, the border rider, and the village farmer that we envisioned in Vision 2030. Social protection, healthcare for every family, education for every child, dignity for every worker, defending revolution, ensuring resources which where our people live and our people dream for a better future. Unity and inclusivity, a Kenya where no community is left behind and no citizen feels like a stranger in their own country. And above all, ODM must nurture a new generation of leaders, men and women who will carry this flame of reform into the future. In conclusion, mabwana na mabibi, na wale wasio na mabibi, let us remember this truth. ODM is not just a party, it is a movement. ODM is the dream. ODM is the dream of the farmer who tills his land seeking fair markets. ODM is the cry of the mother who wants health care for her children. ODM is the hope of the youth, yearning for opportunity, dignity, and justice. We must reignite the fire for the next 20 years, a fire of struggle, service, resoluteness, and victory. I foresee political jungles opening up, darkness giving way to light, and lives transformed. So let us rise, united, one people, one movement, one nation. May ODM live on. May democracy thrive. May the people of Kenya forever be free and prosperous. Long live ODM. Long live a united Kenya. ODM at 20, stronger than ever. Asanteni sana. Can I take this opportunity, please, to call my chairman, Henry Koske, to come and say a word. This is the founder chairman of the ODM. Jamge? Missing? Still missing.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, all protocols observed, ODM members, mko tayari? Haya, asante sana. I don't have a speech because you never warned me I'm going to make a speech. So I'll be very brief. First, let me take this opportunity to congratulate ODM for making it to 20 years. I think you are only second to KANU, and quite a number of all of us also came from KANU. So congratulations, and as Chi says, no, not the current one, the old one, to say no, to reject what we call the Kilifi draft, Wako draft. I saw Wako here. Wapi Wako? Yeah, Kule, yeah, Wako, Amos Wako. We rejected your draft. We went to the IEBC to choose a symbol. And when we got there, I was there, when we got there, we too had two, on one hand a banana and an orange on the other. And I remember very well, very clearly, him giving us a banana. He gave us on this hand, but then took it back and gave us the orange. So we grabbed the orange. I always wondered what would have happened if we had taken the banana. Anyway, we were lucky. We got the banana, we got the orange, and the banana ended up with the other side, and they became bananas. And then, fast forward, after the campaign, we campaigned so hard as a team. Now we in KANU, together with the President and Honorable Musalia, and quite a number, with the LDP group. At that time, we in KANU, we had lost 2002 elections. And actually, the government that came in persecuted us, particularly people from Rift Valley. They were sacked, those in the military, those in the police force, those in parastatals. They were sacked left, right, center, until, I think the president remembers this, we said, please, enough is enough. Don't continue, persecuting us. And we tried to create a dialogue to stop the persecution, because we had lost quite a number of people. Imagine, there was 20 senior police officers who were one day told, out, get out. And they were sitting in their cars doing nothing, waiting to be. So when I hear sometimes stories about blah, 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 I'd wonder, do they really remember? Anyway, so we teamed up with LDP. So immediately after the referendum, they were sacked. The LDP group who had joined the part of NAC, they were sacked. So we were happy. Now we could work together. They have been sacked, we have been victimized, so we teamed up. Fast forward, we went round after winning the no, and we said, this can be a party, the Orange Democratic Movement. And Your Excellency, you'll remember in Kisumu, that big, huge rally where they were singing, Ruto, Ruto, Ruto. Because you had done a very good campaign, so they thought we won the election, we won the no, because you did a wonderful campaign. So we said we can go and form a party. So we agreed to go and meet in Machakos, this place called Kwashambungo. I don't know that I pronounced that correctly, but we went there and agreed in principle that let's form a party. Now, Your Excellency, His Excellency the President had shown presidential ambitions. Raila was there, Mudavadi was there, Achib Alala was there, Hormanyaga was there. They had said they want to be president. And you can see, in ambition, you must be ambitious. Kuwa presidency rahisi. So they went into a room themselves to discuss who will be. I think they might have been discussing, he might tell us, they might have been discussing who would be chairman. But then they agreed that none of them who has presidential ambitions should be chair. So they said, who should be given the interim chairman? So Julius Kemboy, who was one of the lawyers who was inside, and Otieno Kachwang was also in the meeting. Julius was the first one to come and said, would you like to be chairman? I said, of course, yes, I don't mind being chairman. And then Otieno Kachwang followed. Otieno Kachwang came to try and convince me to be chairman. I was already convinced. So we agreed. They came, the rest of the positions, I think, you came later. After that, Shambungo as acting secretary. Then we went to Naivasha to strategize now on what the party principles and values are. And we had a very big argument on who should be members. Individual members, and of course Uhuru and Kanu and Gideon were still in Kanu. we was also in Kano. And they said, let's have also corporate members. And for a whole 2 days, we talked about who should be member, corporate or individuals only. Raila was for individuals. We talked over, we agreed, let's have both individual members and corporate. So we went out of our way to accommodate Kanu. So we came in, and then we now came to Nairobi to register the ODM. And we found out that a mischievous character called Manyara, with maybe I can't call it, maybe a sinister motive, had registered our party. How come? Who is this Manyara? We haven't even known him. I think I've met the character twice. Is he here? Wapie? He's around, eh? One day he will tell us his motive. So we decided, no, let's register ODM Kenya. So we went ahead and registered ODM Kenya. It was not easy. The government refused to register. But through connections here and there, Janet, the first executive officer, knew some people in the Register of Societies, and we managed to register ODM Kenya. But because we could not be officials, because if we had become official, we would have had to resign from our seats as members of parliament. So we took, but a little bit, they even refused to give us a certificate of registration. So we went and I climbed up Sharia House, there's a wall, it's not a wall, it's a barrier. And we got the certificate anyway. And I was trying to carry to show the people. And the young people from Kibera, you know how they are. They wanted to grab the certificate. And I was holding it in my hands, and they eventually broke the glass, and it cut my hand here. I have a mark. And then we went with it to Uhuru Park, trying to have a small rally. And the police came and tear gassed us. First time nilikula tear gas. Kwa hivyo kama hujakula tear gas, hujapata chochote. Anyway, so we registered the party under Manso and I don't know who else, maybe the president knows. I don't know all of them. You know, age is catching up on me. But we got so we went to Banafric Hotel. At that time, there was still push and we were still pulling. Uhuru was still pulling, but I don't know what he wanted, and we had given corporate members. So I called him, I said, Uhuru, go back to your people. Don't come and harass us here. Go back to Kano and build your base there. We will remain here. And then Kalonzo also, and Mutula Senior, still continued wanting. Kumbe they knew. The next thing, they ran away with the party. That Dan Manso. Huh? So we were partyless. We were all dear, but without any party. They had run away with the party. So now we thought of, what shall we do? what shall we do? Imanyara has registered the other one. Here is ODMK is gone. So we thought, well, let's register for ODM Asili or ODM Original. So we were still debating. But the party leader, Honorable Raila, and may his soul rest in peace, you know, he was a good thinker. So one day, when we were still talking, there was a restaurant somewhere we used to go sometimes on Lanana Road. He said, you know, Kumbe he had actually decided to approach Imanyara and, well, ask what you want. The rest you can conclude. So Raila told us, we have the party. We have the ODM now. So, hallelujah. Now we are back to, we have not formed the ODM Original or ODM that. So we continued now as a party towards the election of 2007. And I can tell you, it was a hot election. And I can tell you, we fought on principles. We came up with that Maisha Bora. What was it again? Chungwa Moja, Maisha Bora. We came up with that one. But let me tell you also, at that time, there was also this idea of Machimbo. Machimbo. Everybody thought Machimbo meant, you know, some ethnic, you know, occupation, particularly in Rift Valley. Nobody wanted to hear we wanted Machimbo. But our brothers thought Machimbo means being expelled from an area. So we thought of, what shall we do? What is the next word? What is the next word? So one day, Rosemary, is Rosemary here? Rosemary Odinga came up with the word ukatusi. So that's how, you know, a young lady comes with an alternative. We were wondering, what shall we call it? Is there no other word other than Machimbo? Maybe we should have asked watu wa pwani watuambie. But imagine a young lady from Nyanza came up with the word ukatusi. Up to now, I don't even know what ukatusi means, but we used it anyway as ukatusi. So because one of the principles of ODM was devolution, to have a devolved government. We used to say we don't want an imperial presidency, we want to devolve power and resources. Fast forward, 2013, 2007, of course, everybody knows, you know, the results. What happened? We were beaten. The president and I, we were still arguing with Kivuitu about 6 o'clock. Then the police came and clobbered us, beaten us, and Itere, who was then the commandant of the JSU, I think he was rewarded eventually. He became commissioner of police. Came and grabbed Kivuitu, took him to State House to go and announce the winner, in quotes. And we were left almost orphaned. We went to some place near Hurlingham there, just to watch the swearing in at 7 p.m. So we watched, then we decided, what shall we do? As we were coming out, the country erupted. people started, the fighting that happened, the post-election violence. And then, worse still, they came back and said we had planned it. And case one, the president, Sang, and myself, we ended up 8,000 kilometers away in a court. The most unjust thing I always ask the president, shall we ever get justice for being dragged all the way to 8,000 kilometers to be charged over? Can you imagine one of the items on the charges is rape? Imagine me being charged for rape. Anyway, I don't want to go into too much history. So that is that. And then, of course, after 2013, His Excellency the President formed URP, and he gave me a ticket, actually. He told me, I give you the Senate ticket, direct nomination. But because I was trying to relocate, and go leave Odia and Kasaba and the lake. And then, after I had handed over, there was going to be an election. Nyanyo, my friend Nyanyo, convinced me, why don't you wait and have something to eat before you go? So I agreed, we could go, to buy. So I agreed to wait. So we went to eat. And then now when we came back, it was voting time. I said, I'm still a member. Let me vote. While I'm trying to cast my vote, some guns, goons, in black, because the men in black came and kicked out everything. I rushed out to my car. I don't know what happened at that time, but that was almost my last function or my last activity on ODM. I went away, and the rest is history. So I went, and I changed the party now URP was. Then later, immediately after that, Jubilee then, I became a Jubilee member. Then I became a UDA member. I'm currently a UDA member. But I must congratulate you again. Just and fair society, a prosperous society, a society that we can all proudly say we belong. And now, since you said, or the MC here said, we want to take stock of what you have done and what the future is going to be, or what the future should be. Yes, you might call them, tell me, for the sake of a better word, ethnic communities. And we want a united country. We want a united nation. We want a prosperous country. And we can only do that if we remain united. I know, Anyang, you don't like me to say this, but now the future is the future. You know, Baba left you in the broad-based government. Stay in broad-based government. You know, in 2013, they formed something called CORD. 2017, they formed, what was it? NASA. That Musalia was NASA. And then 2022, we formed what? Asimio. So, the 2027, and I said, I'm going to offer you advice from an old man like me. 2027, broad-based. Broad-based. You can baptize it, but broad-based. Under His Excellency, William Samoei Ruto. Because I have given that history, and we have seen we have been together anyway. In spirit and in everything. Maybe in different parties, but we have been together. Let us stay together as one nation. What did you say? One what? You can continue saying one nation, one what, one. Bas. Asanteni sana. This guy, when we were looking for a slogan for Tuko Tayari, he's the one who came up with the word Tuko Tayari. And near Methodist guest house there, and we said Tuko Tayari. And the other side said Tuko Pamoja. So they always copied. But stay in the broad-based government. Stay in the coalition of William Samoei Ruto. Whatever you will call it broad-based coalition. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my chair. One more clap for my chair. Asanteni sana. I want to call to the stage now, after you've listened to my chair giving you a very good history of the ODM. I concentrated on the ODM's ideology, and he gave you a very good history. Now you are learned from here. BA, MA, to the other side. Thank you very much. Let me call my dear friend Mumbi Ngaru. Wapi huyu mama? Aje hapa, azungumuze na wananchi kama kawaida. Tafadhali. Haya, Mumbi is a very special lady to us in ODM. Come, my dear. And you hear her voice, You'll want her to speak up the morning time, but come.
Your Excellency, President William Ruto, thank you for remembering my name outside there. Yes. Our party leader, Dr. Oburu Odinga, Senator, and the family of my departed party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, and all of us, all protocol observed. ODM, 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 na hatubanduki. Thank you very much, my friend, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. He was my lecturer at the University of Nairobi. Then he nominated me into the council of Thika Municipal Council, and I later became the mayor. I am here as a founder member of ODM. And as the story of merging the parties was done, the folding of LDP, the files, the names, the offices were done by this small girl, Mombi Garu. The Gen Zs probably don't understand that even in age, we were Gen Zs at one particular time. That time, nobody in my region would touch ODM. Even today, I cannot be a candidate anywhere because I'll give others reason to insult me, not vote me, but demoralize me. And have worked behind the scenes. And as the story is told, I can tell it better. It's not for today. Your Excellency, President William Ruto, I didn't know I was going to have this opportunity. But I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for honoring my departed party leader, Honorable Raila Odinga. It was a very difficult time for me because him and my husband, Dr. Ngaru, they left each other exactly 6 months. Dr. Ngaru left, Raila Odinga came to bury him, and then the difference between them of their parting is only 6 months. I am not going to wail more than they believed, but I felt God. Thank you, Modoni, my daughter, wherever you are seated on the somewhere. We had to come and honor Raila Odinga. And again, Your Excellency, broad-based is not known in the region I come from. And when you do other things, remember, we are there. We have Akamau, we have Mwangi, Maina, we have so many of them. We are